Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, the premier Patriots podcast on Couch Guys Sports and in the podcast world. Sorry, I seem so melancholy today. The Patriots got immaculated, eviscerated, any other word you could think of over the weekend by the New Orleans Fighting Jameis Winstons. We do actually have an enemy in our midst today. I'll introduce him in a little bit. But as always, guys, I am Mike Sullivan. With me, Liam McDade. He's dancing. He's in a better mood than I. Liam, say hello.
Saw dudes, dudettes, things in between. Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes. Join us for this melancholy, not so psyched episode. But I'm going to keep the volume high, even though I'm not happy. I'm putting on a happy face.
I'll get there eventually. I'm not worried.
Build to it.
Yeah, no, I will. We'll build to it. I don't know if you heard someone laughed in the background there. Like I said, we have for the first time ever on Tuck Rule Takes the inaugural non-Patriots guest. He's actually a Saints fan, which holy shit, what a coincidence. The Pats just lost to the Saints. Dre, say what's up, my man. What's going on?
Yes, let's go, baby. How we doing on tonight?
Fucking great,
on,
awesome.
Dre? Thanks for
fucking
coming
great,
on.
Dre. Fucking
That's
great.
right.
That's how we're doing.
I'm awesome.
That's what I want to
really
hear.
good.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's
Fucking
it.
dodo. All right. So there's not, we're gonna get right into it. This podcast is gonna be all about the Saints game that just happened. Not really gonna do much talking about the next game. There's actually a bonus episode coming out later on this week. Liam and I talk all about Tom Brady, the Patriots, the Bucs game, all that stuff. But right now, we are here to talk about the 28-13 L that the Pats took at the hands of the Saints. But it's kind of unfair. I think it only fits for us to start in one place. We lost a member of our team. James White is out for the season. Dislocated hip, which sounds fucking horrendous. Just a quick little 5-second moment of silence for him, please, starting now. He's a fucking captain too. That's what sucks.
That was shitty.
This
was really
God.
shitty.
I mean, Liam, I know you said to me that you didn't really see the play. They showed the replay. It didn't look like anything crazy, but fucking dude dislocated his hip.
I watched the whole game, had no idea he got hurt. All of a sudden, I was just like, so they're just phasing James White out of the game plan?
Bro, he got carted off, bro.
Yeah. Dre was at the game, people. Dre was at the
I
game.
must have got up and got a beer and not even noticed. And maybe I was pissing. I have no clue. All of a sudden, I'm like, Brandon Bolden's playing? I was like, sus, but okay.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to fucking Brandon Bolden. It was the fucking Brandon Bolden game, apparently. But Dre, when you were there, did it look, because it looked like all the pictures and videos and stuff we saw, it looked like the whole Patriots sideline went over to James White when he was down.
Dude, that was crazy. Like, it really, like you guys said, it really didn't look as bad at first. Even in person, it didn't look as bad. Like how he went down and just like the hit in general. But like that man, like he would not get up, and the whole audience silent, like no peep, nothing. And when he got carted off, it felt real at that moment. But obviously, you got to give the claps to him.
Yeah,
he did work
Give it up
up
to
until.
Yeah, I mean,
as he usually does.
He was doing well. I think he leads the team in like catches or yards or both or one of the two or something
Literally,
like that.
probably both.
Yeah, I mean, that's because he's James fucking White. He was just coming back. He looked good. I thought it was a knee injury at first, like the only thing on the replay that I could see, it looked like he kind of like maybe hyperextended his knee. So I was like, he's just not getting up. Maybe he's got a dislocated kneecap, which I mean sounds just fucking crazy, but
terrible.
That's like a 3 or 4 week thing normally in most cases if there's no tears. No, fucking broke his hip, so he's out. I figured we just start on a shitty note anyways, because it's not really going to get too much better with the game, but there are still a couple positives to take away. But I figured we'd start with the offense, just since we talked about James White. This fucking offense started 3 straight 3-and-outs. They did not get their first down until just under 5 minutes, 5 minutes into the second quarter. Like, I'm fine with the offense starting slow, but what the fuck? What the fuck was that?
That's brutal. And the Saints offense or defense, Dre, you got to speak to this one here because I had no idea. I would have been drafting this team, this defense in fantasy. I had no idea how good this was. And I'm a huge Malcolm X guy. Malcolm Jenkins is the man, one of the best safeties in the league.
Yep.
So I figured he'd be locking it down all year as usual. But Marshawn Lattimore's been out. Has he been out the whole season?
Dude, he played in that game and he was on lockdown mode. He was SWAT City. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dumbass, because the only person I noticed was who'd they just get?
Bradley Roby.
Yes, and wasn't there
Bradley
one more
Roby's
too?
good.
He barely played some reps, but CJ 2K, he's their other corner.
Did they not have Trufant?
I don't think so. Not that I know.
For some reason, I thought they signed him. But anyway, this Saints defense was just killing it, man. And it's hard to tell whether it was the Patriots playing really bad or the Saints defense, just absolutely crushing it. Or maybe it kind of hovers in between after that fucking Jonnu Smith bobble up in the air.
Yeah.
That was just such a bad play on the Patriots' part, and then a stellar play on the
ball. Just catch the ball. I'm sorry.
It was bad. Dude, I had no idea how good the Saints defense was.
Dude, they have a playmaker on every part of the ball. Like D-line, you got Cam Jordan at the end. You can't mess with that. Also, Marcus Davenport, great serviceable player. At linebacker, you got Marcus Davenport. No, I think he played. He played a little bit
late week before, so I was hoping.
He fucking ended up
you were
playing.
hoping,
but he wasn't. He wasn't.
You got Demario Davis at the linebacker, dude.
I love Demario Davis.
Yeah,
he's like a million years old and still balling.
So you talked about that pick from that John. I'm not even gonna say the Mac Jones pick, the Jonnu Smith pick. So that was a part.
It shouldn't count as an interception for quarterbacks either.
They got to figure that out, but
it's got to be like an error.
That's something for I don't get paid enough to make that decision, I guess. But Mac Jones, 30 of 51, 271 yards. Yardage is cool. He had a shit ton of dropbacks. He had 1 touchdown, and then he had 3 picks, which honestly, I think really only one was really bad. One of them was when he was getting hit. Should he have held on to the ball? Should he not have? He thought he could get it out. He got hit throwing it, whatever. The Jonnu Smith one is in no way, shape, or form on him whatsoever. Then he threw one to, I think it was Aguilar. It looked like they just kind of misread what they were supposed to do. Who knows what it was on. But yeah, he just completely missed them. That was almost right. That was just like a free kick, it looked like, right to the Saints. But I don't know. What do you think? Mac Jones, he didn't have a great stat line, but I'm still not worried about him. Like, you know what I mean? I think everybody's kind of waiting to be worried about him, but there's still nothing really that makes me be like, oh shit, is he like not gonna pan out? Is he the wrong guy? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it's shitty to ask any rookie quarterback to throw the ball 51 fucking times. In week 1, Trevor Lawrence had to throw 50 times. He threw 3 picks.
He threw 3 picks. Yeah.
So it's like, hey, 3 picks from Mac Jones as well. And I agree with you. There was only one that was truly his fault. I'd argue the second one was a little shaky, but obviously the Jonnu Smith, he really fucked that up. But it's just like Mac's doing the best he can behind a terrible.
Dude, he got pressured 18 times, got hit 11 times, got sacked twice. That fucking Saints defense. That Saints defense.
It can't run the ball either. Like the offensive line can't push and run block. They cannot pass block. It's like if you can't do either one, then do you take a fucking knee every play? It's so frustrating because you can't run the simplest play. Can't run.
Matt Jones had the most rushes on the team.
Yeah. I know. 28 yards, which for somebody who I don't think is that athletic, that's pretty solid. That's 4.7 a carry.
He can like sneak out though. It looked like he can like sneak out when he, you want to know what's funny? Nice little connection to the next game. Do you know who the Bucs leading rusher was in their most recent game? Their game against
was it Tom Brady? He had a huge.
It was Tom Brady. Tom Brady and Mac Jones, fucking elite rushers of the football, apparently.
Yeah, I love
it. So
gonna hammer Tom Brady touchdown this week, but that's just me.
I think so. Yeah, he'll get one probably. So Dre, I know that you're not a Mac Jones, that you're not a Patriots fan or anything like that. But you were obviously at the game. I don't know if I said that, Dre. You were at the game, obviously. What did you think? Did you think it was more of, Mac Jones making mistakes or did the Saints defense just show up to play? Because I didn't think that they were still this good. I really didn't think they were.
I don't even know if it was Mac Jones' mistakes. I think it was the company around him mistakes. Like you said with the Jonnu Smith thing, dude, he was like, Jonnu Smith got targeted 6 times and caught one of his balls. Like every ball that hit his hands went immediately out of it. Same with Hunter Henry. He had some good catches, but he like slipped right out of his hands. Mac Jones was throwing like nice little seeds to these guys. I could see it from my point of view. Like I was right up close. He was throwing like nice little floaters. Oh,
humble brag. That was a
like
humble
Tom
brag.
Brady.
We'll say it though.
No, like respect to the man playing against a veteran defense like that. Like everyone on that defense knows exactly what they're doing. So it was a lot of like fear monger effect towards him. And like that offensive line does not complement anything with that rush defense Saints have. Like the Saints are stopping the run 9 out of 10 times, no matter what offensive line. They've always been top 5 in the rush, like for the past like 10 years. So it was not Mac's mistakes. It was his teammates' mistakes for the most part. And also the Saints defense accompanying that did not help at all.
Yeah, I like that take a lot because like he's a rookie and you expect the veterans and the guys who have been in the league for a while to pick up the slack for the beginning of a rookie season. Like, hey, you should know in the first 6 to 8 weeks, this dude's still coming along. So we need you to make bigger plays, fight harder for each catch, run harder for each yard and stuff like that. And dudes just look like they're giving them nothing out there. I like how you brought up Hunter Henry too. Finally cracks the 2 catch barrier, gets 5 for 36. Not that impressive. I'm like, dude, we really need something. Like, and he was open a couple times and Mac didn't look his way. I don't exactly blame Mac for that either. He's still trying to go through his reads, go through his progressions. That's going to happen. But like, damn, Hunter Henry, fucking do a little more than 5 for 36.
I think they're gonna. Yeah, he was 5 for 30. What is he on the season? He's 10 for 109 on the season, which honestly he should be able to do that shit in the game. Which I think he will. Like I mentioned on the bonus episode that we did. We're kind of time traveling because you guys are gonna listen to this episode first, and then the Patriots one is gonna come out probably the next day. So we're doing a little time travel here.
Yeah,
but I think the offense is just gonna take a little longer to get there, and whether. I don't think I don't think it's a matter of like Hunter Henry or Jonnu Smith not playing well or not getting open. With Smith, it's just he needs to catch the ball. That's why I think with Hunter Henry, I think maybe it's just one of those things where, they look towards Smith more. They look towards Henry. And I mean, it's just one of those things. And also when Mac doesn't have time to throw the ball, he's not going to be able to go through his second, third read or something. So he's probably looking first, looking second. Then there's a rusher in his face, which happens fucking almost a third of the time that he drops back. So he was good though, throwing 10 yards or under. That was the one thing I saw. You were 24 or 28 for $169. 69.
I mean, it's 10 yards or under though. Any quarterback should in theory.
Exactly. But I think that's a good thing though, because you kind of see that, at least he's doing what you expect him to do. Yards of passes 20 yards or more, he was 1 for 11. So that was a little rough. There was that he had that nice rollout where he kind of chucked one up to Jonnu Smith. And at first when he threw it, I thought it was like a bullshit throwaway. Dude, I don't think he could have walked over to him and handed that to him in a better spot.
Oh, walk it to him.
Oh, yeah. I knew you were going to say that too. You and you fucking Philly trash, walk it to him once, 2 broken ankles.
Taking the Colts to the playoffs, baby.
Jumping on trampolines with his dumb little ankles, little flimsy ankles. That's what he has.
Started 0-3.
Philly flimsy ankles.
Gonna finish 14-3, baby. Not losing from here on out. Not the
14-3. Yep, because there's 17 games. Remember that. Dre, football fan. Does the 17 games thing, is that fucking you up when you start thinking of like what teams' records are going to be and stuff like that? Because
I'm still getting used to it.
It is the worst. I hate that you can't have an 8-8 team now. It's got to be like a 9-8 or 8-6. It just it's upsetting.
I just feel bad for Jeff Fisher, the old Titans coach. He was Mr. 8-8, and then they changed the rule after he retires, and he's like, "Son of a bitch! I could have either won one more or lost one more."
But yeah, I don't really want to stick on the weapons there. The 2 people, I think the 2 lone bright spots on the offense, Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers. I know you were talking about Kendrick Bourne, Liam, actually here and there. Kendrick Bourne had, where is he? 6 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. Myers had 9 for 94. So I think Myers is kind of being the only steady part of the offense so far. And then Kendrick Bourne looks like he's rounding into shape. You're seeing the skill. You're seeing the reason why Belichick went out and signed him. You had Aguilar the first couple weeks. Myers was always in there. I see. I think I'm not worried. Like that's the thing. I'm not worried in the sense where I think that these signings weren't worth it. I'm worried in the sense where you got to protect Max so he can use these weapons. You know what I
we
mean?
spent all this money on weapons. Obviously, we should have been spending that money on a line.
And he can't use it. Well, I mean, luckily, Trent Brown again. He was limited today at practice. But he was limited last week too. But again, you never know. I mean, he's not going to be a full participant right off the bat. So, maybe the next day, maybe tomorrow, the day after, he's full participant and he's in. Like I said, when Trent Brown comes back, I'm going to start to be less and less worried because I think if you had Trent Brown against the Saints, you may have been able to, I don't know, instead of getting pressured 18 times, maybe he gets pressured 11 times, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, just something better because the Saints do have a really good pass rush, Cam Jordan, even though he called Belichick a cheater before the game, which is fine. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, all that fun stuff.
True. Hey, that's how I made it through school.
I mean, it's funny though. He didn't point the finger to his own coach with Bounty Gate, but I don't know. That's
not cheating.
Neither here nor there. Yeah,
that's not cheating.
Yeah, that's more incentivizing, right?
I like that. If I was a coach, I'd do that. I'd be like, "Yo, slip you 100 if you tombstone their quarterback."
Yeah, but like do it on the low. Don't make it like a fucking team-wide.
They have a
thing.
giant board up in the locker room.
yeah, like okay, yeah. So Jordan, look at that, buddy.
It's like categories: decapitations, knockouts, knocked out of the game,
broken bones, $100 per broken bone. Like what the fuck? I don't know.
But it kicked Brett Favre out of the league, and I hate Brett Favre, so it works for me.
Yeah, it did.
True.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Were you excited to see Kendrick Bourne though? Honestly, I've been shitting on him.
Me?
Basically since the season started. Anyone.
I love Kendrick Bourne.
I know you were a huge supporter the whole time. I thought
and
he
the
was
thing
ass
is,
up until this point.
I am just because I'm not expecting. I'm expecting some of these receivers or tight ends to be missing for a game or two anyway. Just the fact that that's how the offense runs. I just like Bourne. I don't know, just I liked him when he was in San Francisco. I didn't follow San Francisco, religiously or anything, but yeah, exactly. I liked him in San Fran. He looked like he could do some stuff with the ball, which is nice. I liked Aguilar even when he was on the Eagles. I still liked him. I felt like he got a lot of shit just because fuck you.
Welcome
Eagles.
to Nellyville.
I like him. And then of course when he was with the Raiders, I liked him then too. But yeah, I'm happy that Bourne
he was better on the Raiders.
He was like their best weapon, I think.
And he was better on the Raiders.
Over the top.
Yeah, wasn't he like a top 5 or something deep threat in the league, I think?
Yeah. Mac doesn't have the time to throw it deep, so we'll never fucking know.
And then when he does though, that's the last thing I want to talk about with Mac. When he does, at least he's missing them a little bit too much. At least he's not underthrowing people. At least he's not, leading them in different directions. I know him and Aguilar got turned around on one of the ones that would have been a touchdown, it looked like. But that looked like they both just read it wrong. It doesn't look like that, like the talent's there. It's just kind of ironing out.
Our strength was never a question for him. He was slinging bombs in college to like the 3 best wide receivers in the draft. So it's like, we know the dude can sling the ball deep. At Alabama, there's always a blown coverage. There's always some dude over the top. Max just kind of like, got him.
Yeah. No, it's true though. He's, I'm upset about the offense, but again, like it's one of those things where it's like this is almost one of those games where you watch the tape once, and it happens at least once a year with every Patriots team. They have one game where they just get demoralized, dehumanized. They look like they couldn't even beat the worst college team. Like it's just an all systems failure. Am I the
only one who thought that there was faith though after Kendrick Bourne scored? I was like, we might be able to come back.
Dude, I jumped up. I was sitting there. I almost tipped over my buffalo chicken dip. I was jumping up, running around. I was like, this is it. We're going. Because when he threw it up, when he first kind of like fucking tossed it up, looked like to the middle of the nowhere, I was like, okay, this is getting picked. Like,
and Bourne had to come back to it. And I was like,
that was it too. That was almost like, it felt like it was slow motion watching it. Because like, it looked like he was going out and he did the little thing.
Swaggiest touchdown I've ever seen, though. Just standing on the sideline, reaches over, sticks it, points at the ref. He's like, I got it. I was like,
I love when they do that. They get it and they're like, yep.
Looking at the ref, huh? I was like, love that. But and then of course the Saints went right down and scored. Like, no problem. The Patriots defense looked mortal. And hey, I've been on the Jameis Winston train all year. I knew he was going to be good. Even last game after he threw like 2 or 3 picks, I was like, this is just the Panthers have a good defense. I have faith in Jameis this year. So
Boom.
no exact shame on the Patriots defense on that front. He is a good quarterback, but goddamn, we really needed to stop there.
Also, with Jameis, because I want to talk about Jameis actually did well. He didn't have his stats didn't blow you away. He had like a $182, I think, passing. It was nothing wild.
Yeah.
But that fucking little lollipop that he dumped to the back of the end zone, I can't even count that against the Pats defense. What the fuck? He was like,
getting pulled down, slings it to
a second.
Marquez.
I think that is when I knew that the Patriots
to watch.
The Patriots they were going to have to go. What was it like in the stadium when that happened? Because I feel like if it's anything like when I was watching the game, you almost pulled him down. I'm like, fuck yeah, there we go, blah, blah, blah. And then it's a touchdown. Like, what the hell? Because it seemed like the crowd kind of like, like it was
the crowd. The crowd was like literally excited. They thought it was out of bounds at first, but all the Saints fans that are scattered around, they're like, "No, that shit was a catch. That shit was a catch." Like it didn't really catch to me at first, but like when I saw it back on the replay, I'm like, "Damn, he went beast mode on that. That's crazy."
What was the Saints' presence in Gillette as well? Because I saw the Snapchats. You were amped. I don't know what you were drinking or smoking. You were wiling out. It's like Dre surrounded by Pats fans, like fucking let's go, yeah, get back. He's like screaming. It's like all these angry, grizzled old guys in the back just staring Dre down.
Dude, I live for it. I live for the controversy. I live for the hype. Like I live for all of it, dude. But dude, I would say presence wise with Saints fans, I was very, very surprised because fucking New Orleans is quite ways away from
I know. I'm
England.
going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
Lucky.
Fucking
I'm gonna die.
but like surprisingly enough, like when I was walking around the stadium and shit, there was a lot of people in the black and gold, and I went up to every single one. I was like, who that?
You have to.
They knew the
to.
mentality.
Yeah, you have to.
And
I would have jumped you if I saw you, but yeah, totally.
Yeah, obviously. But I was expecting fucking the Boston sports fans to be like fucking pissed off at what I was doing, and like rightfully so. But for the most part, they were just like joking around and like shooting the shit. So like I respect that people weren't fucking aggressive drunk football fans like per usual.
Yeah.
But I was definitely glad to see the turnout of the amount of Saints fans that were there. Definitely made me feel a little more at home,
Yeah, I mean it's the Saints. I think especially even going back to with all the different gates, with the bounty gate, spy gate, deflate gate, the Saints and the Pats have always kind of had each other's backs.
They're all like, yes, we got in trouble. High five.
Yeah, like it's kind of one of those things like, oh yeah, we're the ones who always get caught cheating. Everybody else is doing it, but we get caught. Like I think that's why I think there's really zero animosity whatsoever between the teams and between the fan bases, because I think it's one of those things where it's like a mutual respect, Sean Payton, even though he has an asshole mouth, I don't know if you've seen his mouth whenever he's on the sideline, looks like a little butthole. It looks like a butthole. Yeah, a little bit. That's fine. Sometimes maybe not a perfect one, but it looks like one. But either way though, that I think that's probably why it felt kind of how it did for you. Cause like, I don't know, the Saints are cool. I've always liked the Saints, I feel like the majority of the fan base felt that way too.
I just feel like it's one of the fucking teams in the league that you can't really say anything bad about. I mean, maybe like 10 years ago during Bounty, you're like, oh, the Saints, dude. But that's like the one kind of thing that put them on the map. And before that, no one really knew like who the Saints were until Drew Brees showed up and made them like a spot on the map. And everyone, because of Drew Brees, he's such a role model and good influencer. They're like, you know what, I'll start going with the Saints, and that's what got me into it way back in like 2011, 2012 when I started liking the Saints. So here we are.
Yeah. Who that? Lil Wayne says that in almost every song he has to. I had no idea for the longest time what the fuck that was until I was like, oh, okay, yeah, New Orleans, it makes sense.
Sir.
Patriots defense. So other than Matt Judon, who had 2.5 sacks, he was just in MVP. He was something. Is. Yeah, and you just expect that. I think he's going to be like the one steady force. Pat's defense was pretty good the whole game. Of course, they had their holes here and there. But the issue when you needed it, Liam, you kind of touched on it earlier, and I want to bring it back up. You needed to stop. And it didn't even have to be a 3-and-out. Just don't let them score. You give up a 75-yard drive that just put the game out of reach. That was the game right there. The second they got within field goal range, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Was that when
There's
Taysom
no
Hill
way.
scored? That
Yep.
was he
Yep.
put the nail in the
Yeah.
coffin.
dagger.
That's the thing. They were shutting Taysom Hill down for the whole game.
They
Whenever Hill
were.
would go in, I'd be like, why do the Saints do this? Like,
Dude,
keep
you're
Winston
telling
in.
me.
I understood when you
telling
had
me.
Drew Brees, because Drew Brees, he was old, he can't move. But you got Winston, so that upsets you too, kind of when they put in Taysom Hill. It seems like.
Yeah.
Just stealing the
Unfortunately.
crab legs from Jameis.
I used to be excited back in like a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
everyone figured him out at this point. So like it's just like it's not worth putting him on the field because they know what he's gonna do. He's not gonna pass it. He's gonna run to the left and to the right every time.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, even though a couple of years ago everybody was thinking Taysom Hill was going to be, the next, the next,
Right? Oh my
great.
God.
I always
QB.
knew that was laughable. I was like, no.
That
no,
was
no.
yeah. I don't
was
even
like,
know.
I was like, I watched it.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
I've seen some narratives try to get like pushed in the media where I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of get that. I don't know who was paying who to put Taysom Hill must have been shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars to have people tout him as the next great quarterback.
Dude must have been slinging
Straight-
around Miami
straight
Coke money to
bribes.
fucking bribe people for that stuff. Because
Something, yeah,
I
I
do not
don't-
understand where this is coming from.
None of it made sense. But with the defense though, they did only give up 128 pass yards, actually, not 182.
Yeah.
128 to Jameis Winston. In my notes of the game, I wrote only gave up 128 pass yards. Good. Gave up 142 rush yards. Very bad. Like I know
Jeez.
that. Yeah, it was a rough game. It was a rough game. 142. It didn't seem like that many, but
No,
it fucking was.
that's
So
crazy.
that's the thing that annoys me is because if you can't stop the run, teams they're gonna run the clock. They're gonna get first downs. They're gonna do all that stuff. I feel like, or at least it seemed like Belichick was bringing in people to stop the run. Again, I don't want this game to be, an indictment on how the defense is going to be the whole season, because I'm a very big, there's always a game where things just fail. And I'm hoping this is the one. But 142 rushing yards is horrible. And they only had 10 men on the field for that Taysom Hill touchdown, by the way.
God. Yeah. So there's no hope in stopping them there. Down
No.
a man, like you're screwed.
Uh-uh.
So that was really shitty. Dre, what do you
Mhm.
think about Matthew Judon? Because this is a very pro Matthew Judon podcast, maybe the most pro. I don't think Matthew Judon and his wife could make a more pro Matthew Judon podcast
no, they
if
definitely
they
couldn't.
tried. I
Nope.
mean, he had 2.5 sacks, absolutely doing what he needs to do out there. It's just, we need somebody else. I was hoping to get a little Kyle Van Noy action in here, maybe some Barmore, even like Lawrence Guy do something, but no, it was all Judon, and he's a killer, but like we needed more than that.
Bro, out of all the Pat signings in the offseason, that was the one that I was kind of most afraid of in facing wise, because like, dude, like he definition has showed up that game. It's crazy what that dude can do. Very underrated player, very undervalued for like what they got him for.
Oh, yeah.
It's like freaking crazy.
For 4
But
years.
dude, that meant like that's what I'm saying, bro. That dude knows a defensive scheme in and out and can play around any offensive line scheme too. Like he's a type of fear monger too. Every time I saw number 9 do something, every time I saw him on the field, I'm like, he's gonna be somewhere that I don't expect him.
Yep.
And
Shit
gets
he
rough.
was always there. He was always pushing the pocket, doing something. It just always seems like when he's on the field, like he's making some sort of an impact, which makes it easier for guys like what's his name, Devin Godshaw, or however the fuck you say his last name. He had a couple good plays early on in the game too. Lawrence Guy had a couple good plays too. But again, it was just one of those things where at the end of the game, it's tough to think about all the good things that the Pats defense did when they ended how they did, which after that 75 play drive, Dre, you were there. What were the vibes like in the stadium at that point?
Well, it was 100% tense, and even I felt tense too. I was like, dude, like we need to get first downs on first downs, or else we're screwed. And like I never count the Pats defense because like they're no joke. They've always been top tier, top 10, like at least for the past few years. With or without like certain pieces, like Gilmore wasn't in the game, correct?
No, he's out till week 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Like so like I obviously have to work around that, but I think like depth wise, they have like incredible like cornerbacks and safeties to back them up, which is like it's great, and that's what made me nervous. I was like, dude, like I don't know, like because the Saints offense was looking pretty good, but like dude, those like remember those two fucking missed kicks by Alger Rosas? I was like, game's over. We're not winning this fucking game. It's gonna be a defensive battle, and we can't score 2 field goals in a row. Are you kidding me? Where the fuck is Will Lutz? We paid you this much money to just fucking sit out.
So bad. What happened to him? Did he pull a hammy?
Yeah, dude. Like he's out for a bit, not full time, but he's out for a bit. So
damn. And see, that's why through the whole game I had hope. Like up until basically they had that dagger. The Saints were giving the Patriots every opportunity to win. And usually
that's
any football game, not even a Patriots football game, any football game where there's like 2 missed kicks or a fumble or like a couple mistakes where they're kind of leaving the other team in the game. That's a momentum builder right there. And the other team feeds off that. So I was just like, oh, we got this. I was like, eventually we're going to break out. We're going to break free. We'll get up to that 20-point mark. And I always thought I was like, if we can get to 20 points, then it's a game. We can bring it up there. And we fucking couldn't.
Nope. Yep. Couldn't do it. And it was one of those things where I get I don't like when this happens. And again, Dre, it's awesome that you were at the game because I want to ask you about this too. How? Because it sounded loud on the TV before halftime. I had my opinion of what happened, but first I want to know how it sounded. Were there a lot of people booing the Patriots, like their own fans? Because it came across on the TV like there were a good amount of people going into halftime that were booing.
Because they were going for that field goal instead of going for it, right?
They went for it was 2 things. It was like Jonnu Smith dropped the ball and then they went for the field goal or something like that. Yeah. And then they were booing.
Yeah, because they didn't go for it on that fourth. Because like at that point, with that much time left, like with that little time left in the half, and you get ball back at half, but like if you want to make a statement in this game, like especially with the yardage you're at like the 15, like 20-yard line.
Was it 4th and 6 or something like that?
It was 4th and 1, and then
it was 4th and 1, and then someone got an offside penalty and made it 4th and 6.
Like,
yeah. So they were like, "Oh, field goal," but I'm like, I don't know. You can probably convert the 4th and 6. You might as well fucking try because like we didn't have enough time to go down the field at that point. So I just don't understand what the decision making was. And yes, a lot of boos, unfortunately.
See, Liam, what do you think about that? I get being upset, but the fucking people that are booing, I don't know. That like just rubs me the wrong way. Like I don't know if I would full on boo them. First of all, like just kind of everything. It's early in the game. I get being upset, but just like I don't know. I feel like loser franchises boo their team like the Jets did last week or like things like that. You know, not always. There's always boos that come down from the hometown fans on teams, but it just I don't know. It didn't seem necessary. That was just kind of my outlook on it.
See, I think it's completely necessary. I'm one of those people where it's like if you're following a franchise that isn't doing right by you, and the Patriots this isn't even an example thinking about the Patriots. Like if I was the football team fan, I almost said Redskins. If I was a fan of the football team, I'd boo every game. Like the management's terrible. Everything about that team is just terrible. And they're never, ever, ever going to be good because starting at the top all the way down, it's corrupt. They're all a bunch of shitheads just in it for the money. They don't actually care about winning. They make terrible decisions, hire terrible personnel, and year in and year out, they're just a miserable franchise. And as a fan, there's no real way that you can kind of kick back at a team that you don't approve of without like you could not buy tickets to the game, but then some other idiot's going to buy tickets to the game and no one will even know that you didn't buy the tickets. So you got to boo. And that's your way of giving back and saying, I don't approve of this. So if I was at the game, I'd boo too. I'd be like, holy fuck. If we go for it and miss, then hey, we shot our shot and we missed. I'll eat that. But like, we need this fucking win. Where if we lose next week, we're going to be 1-3. Like that's atrocious.
That'll be a rough podcast intro next week.
So I would have been screaming. That's my way of like the fans have to disapprove of their franchise somehow, not have to, but like if the franchise does them wrong, even in the slightest way, like, hey, if you boo, that doesn't mean you don't like the franchise. That just means you don't like what's going on in front of you right now. You don't like the picture. So it's just like, you kind of, it's your only way to like give back and say, hey, I fucking hate this and you shouldn't be doing it.
I kind of agree with that too.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I was just thinking here, what the Saints, what the Saints could have done. I mean, what the Patriots fans, could have done. Maybe they could have thrown their exo guns on the field, because I'm sure everybody had them. You could throw whatever you want to throw. You're in Buffalo, whatever. You could say, hey, guys, you know what you should do? Take this exo gun, because guess what, friends? You can get a massage without leaving your home, without leaving the bench, without leaving anywhere. You know where you don't have to leave, Liam? Do you fucking know? The fucking trail.
You don't have to leave the trail.
Never leave. Dre, you a big trail guy? Do you go on the trail a lot?
Like trails through the woods, trails hiking, anywhere. Trails to the beach.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Fuck yeah, you are. Fuck yeah. Then Dre, do I have the thing for you? If you're hiking your trail, you're like, oh no, my leg. You pull the SpongeBob. My leg. You know what you whip out your exo gun, which comes with an awesome carrying case, portable charger, all that stuff. You can get relief at a moment's notice. It's crazy. You have percussion therapy. Trey, I don't know if you know what percussion therapy is. Let me tell you, my friend. Percussion therapy, it boosts your muscle and recovery by penetrating very deep into your muscle tissue with a series of very rapid, very concentrated, pulsating strokes.
Can't forget those pulsating strokes.
That's honestly the best part. That's the best part. So Dre, if you did want to get an exo gun, go to the site. You get 10% off. 10%. That's like almost 50%, which you might as well. That's almost
just 40
free.
Off.
That's almost free. Yeah. So 10% off. Use CGS10 at checkout. Again, that's CGS10 at checkout. 10% off. Get moments relief, notice, all that stuff. Trail locker room. Get your exo gun today. You guys really need to start buying exo guns so we can.
Yes, please.
Can do that. So yeah, I don't have much else to add. I wanted to bring up the booing. That was kind of an issue. I didn't like that, but to each their own. I know that things are going to be fine. It is what it is. I will say this though: the last time the Patriots went 1-2, that happened to be in 2018. And in 2018, they won the Super Bowl. So
parallels, maybe.
I don't know. It seems like actually things are going according to plan. I don't know. Maybe not. ...
Question mark.
Who knows? I don't know. Liam, before I ask our guests our very nice, going away questions, do you have anything else you want to talk about with this game, this ass whooping?
Yeah, just overall, I just wanted Dre's thoughts on the Saints. Do you have I want a record prediction and just an overall little passage about the team this year?
All right. So, okay, I think the Saints are the type of team that they kind of like where the Patriots were back like a few years ago. They beat all the best teams. They lose to all the worst teams. I have a feeling the Saints are kind of going in that mentality right now because they whooped the Packers first week. Like no chance. Like they could have done shit. And then the next week after, they score one touchdown against a division rival that they're very used to in the Panthers. But granted, the Panthers defense have stepped up, and I think they're number one in fantasy points right now, which is kind of crazy to think
Saints
about.
overtook them. Now they're number two.
And you love to hear it. But fucking Sam Darnold and his receivers are no joke. He's finally proving himself. So like you kind of got to give it to him.
I'm a huge Darnold guy.
So I wouldn't count on the Panthers as like a terrible team right now because I mean they are fucking 3-0, but I still don't see them as like the team to beat yet. So I'm putting them under like the lower end of the category, and then. With the Pats, I still think fondly of the Pats, even though they have their offensive struggles. I think their defense is a thing to work around, and people like have to game plan against their defense. Like I think next week Tom Brady is gonna have a little bit of a shitting himself moments at times because I think if one person in the league knows how to stop Tom Brady, it's his former coach Bill Belichick. They've been doing it in practice for fucking over 2 decades. So like I'm on this podcast, I'm gonna say like. I never really was a Patriots hater. I was more of a Tom Brady hater. So that's why I hated the Patriots going
Now we all hate Tom Brady, so that's perfect.
And now just fuck Tom Brady. I want him to lose, especially now that he's a division rival in my fucking division. I want him losing and massacring every fucking game that I can think of.
Fuck him. Yep. No, I get that. That's kind of one of those things we do go in depth as to why Brady might have a poor night or why the Bucks may not win this weekend. If anybody is interested, like I said, there's going to be another podcast episode this week. Go take a listen. Go take a watch too. It's going to be just me and
watch
Liam
it on the trail.
It's going to watch it on the trail with the exo gun, lay the phone on the case, on the traveling case, and you can watch it with that. So I think that's what you should do. Dre, pick a number 1 to 10.
7.
Oh, fucking
old Mike Vick numbers, baby.
There we go. All right. What is you're a Saints fan, correct? I think we've established this, right?
Yes, sir.
What is your least favorite, your worst memory, your most heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching memory of your fandom of the Saints?
Oh, you have like 4 to choose from.
I know, especially recently with the playoffs.
Just one, dude. Oh my God.
Yep.
All right. So I think a typical Saints fan would say the Minneapolis Miracle, but I kind of hated the second time they lost to the Vikings. I was like, you lost to the Vikings twice in the postseason against fucking stupid Kirk Cousins the second time around. That man should not have a starting job. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, he should be bench warming right now. The backup, I don't know who the fuck it is, but he should be in. He probably will produce much better.
Kellen Mond's actually, he's the man.
Come on, put him in, coach. Let him play. Like Mike Zimmer, you've been doing dog shit this whole time. You gotta try something new.
Was that when Kyle Rudolph had that
when Kyle Rudolph
had
the dagger and overtime? They had to go to overtime, and I was like, all right, word. That was in the season where Michael Thomas was the best receiver with over 1,700 yards. I was like, this man's gonna have a field day. And he got shut out that game. I'm like, dude, this is not how it goes, man.
This is not how it goes. I didn't know if you were going to pick the one against I think, what was it when they were playing the Bucks when he
Rams,
got
the pass interference
call?
The
Rams, yeah, the very clear pass interference.
Oh my God, that was
so I want that. I didn't want you to bring that up. I wanted that out of my memory forever, but you fucking brought it up. So I was on the train.
Dre just starts crying.
I was on the train going to Boston to see Impractical Jokers live that night, and on the way on the train, dude, it was great experience. But right before we got there,
Dre goes in miserable, doesn't laugh the whole time.
I was wearing my Drew Brees jersey. I was ready to go. I was ready to get hyped. I was like, let's fucking go, Saints win the Super Bowl. And then this dog shit happens. They have to go to OT. Drew Brees throws a pick on the first throw. I'm like, dude, this
that was so bad.
That was bad. That was bad. As a pseudo Saints fan, like I said, there's the respect. I was like, what? How do you not call that? Like, that was.
I wanted that Super Bowl too. Brady versus Breeze. What more could you ask?
It would have been a fucking shootout.
Yeah, would have been the
better than the fucking 13-3 Super Bowl. That was disgusting to watch.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think it would have been more entertaining. I still think the Pats would have won. I mean, maybe that's my homerism, whatever. But that would have been so good. That would have been awesome. But yeah, they robbed us of that. The referees did, but yeah. So that's your worst memory that time. Those couple times.
Basically the last 4 fucking playoff runs, all of them were terrible in some way. Stephon Diggs fucking ruined my career, and then what's Nickel Roby-Coben ruined it.
Yeah.
Kyle Rudolph ruined it. Brady, and then Brady the 4th time around. Ruins.
Oh yeah, I forgot you even got curb stomped by Brady. I forgot.
Yeah.
You thought you were done with him, and then he comes back. Now he's in your division.
That sucks. Well, and they beat him twice
and then
shut him out
go to the playoffs. And what did Drew Brees do after that? Retire. Great way to end your career by Tom Brady. Awesome. Really good way. Thanks,
good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Would you have wanted him to come back for one more year?
Yeah. I did not want him taking that as his last game.
No,
I'll lose to fucking Daniel Jones over fucking Tom Brady. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I remember Aaron Rodgers lost a playoff game to Joe Webb, the quarterback for the Vikings, who used to be a wide receiver.
Dude, it's the Vikings.
All three of their quarterbacks got hurt. They put in a wide receiver at quarterback, and he beats Aaron Rodgers. I was like, "That's a kick to the dick." I was like, "That sucks." Imagine losing it. And I love Joe Webb. He's ultimate athlete, stud, not a quarterback. I was like, "Do not lose." And then of course they lost.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, brutal. Yeah, that's it's. So at least you don't have it that bad. You just got fucked 4 years in a row.
Yeah, that's all. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
you know,
and then probably be number 5.
Yeah,
I personally think the Saints will snag a wild card spot. I do think they're capable of doing that, but their playoff opponent is gonna piss me the fuck off. We're gonna lose a fucking call it like Andy Dalton. He'll be back on the field for the Bears and then just win the playoff game, and it's gonna piss me the fuck off.
Dre's gonna be like, "Of course,
God, of course, yeah. This is just how it goes. As a fan of the Saints, this just how
why don't I just lose to Nathan Peterman while I'm at it? God damn it!
Fuck it, let's go.
He's still in the league. He played last week. I didn't even know.
Nathan Peterman did.
Yeah,
he did.
For who?
Yeah, I forget. I just remember seeing on my timeline. I was like, "There's no way." Am I
on the Raiders?
No, he's on I forget what team, but he played. I just remember seeing his name and I was like, there's how
many picks did he throw?
I think he's on the Jets now, right?
Is that who it is? Is that
I thought he was backing up for the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
that's so Jets. We're like,
either way,
let's get the guy who throws it to the other team. That's what we need.
Yeah, this is how we win. This is how we win. It's that what's his name? The Adam Sandler meme where it's like, this is how I win. Nate Peterman, let's go, buddy.
Robert Sala's like, I have an idea. We throw an interception and then force a fumble, try and take that for a touchdown. They're like, no. They're like, no, that's not a good idea.
We'll just pick them off and we don't even need the offense on the field. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Our defense will score.
Yeah,
gets beat by 48 points. Okay, they didn't score.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I had to talk about with the game. Dre, thank you for coming on. I definitely, if you ever want to come on again, if the Saints beat the Bucks at one point this year, if you want to come on and we'll give you like a little 5-minute, little segment of your own, just talking shit about that.
Yep.
By all means, you are definitely welcome here. You set the bar, like you said it very high for the non-Patriots fans. So our Cowboys fans, our Chargers, Giants fans, Browns fans, maybe, I don't know, whoever, anybody that's going to come on.
These weird ass franchises.
Yeah, no, I'm not having a Browns fan.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. That one's brutal. I'm going to, don't get me wrong. That's going to be a bloody podcast.
You better take dumpster fires in that kid.
That'll be good. That'll be a good one. That's in a couple weeks for the Pats. But yeah, again, Dre, like I said, thank you for coming on. I'm jealous you got to go with the game, but I'm kind of not because, it was a fucking catastrophe.
Fair.
But yeah,
hey, that was my first game, bro.
Hey, that's hype.
Oh, no shit. That was your first one?
Yeah.
Fuck.
What a first game to go to, huh?
So you're just the lucky charm for the Saints then. You just got to go to all of them, I think.
Yeah, I got to be there. I need my spirit's got to be there.
There we go. But yeah, like I said, guys, bonus episode. We're talking Brady Bucks, the next one. So after you listen to this, watch this. I'm sure the other one will be up momentarily, maybe that day, maybe the next day. Just click next on the little podcast thing. Go listen to that, and then you'll be ready to go. It's that simple.
I just thought about the Mark Wahlberg meme from The Departed, where he's like, maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
Maybe go fuck yourself. That is how that. I wish I could somehow work that into how we're going to end this, but I can't. So for Liam McDade, for Saints fan Dre down there, I'm Mike Sullivan. Hopefully you come back. Hopefully you hear us again. Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself. This is Tuck Rule Takes. We are out.
Let's go.
Later.
Good looks.
Sweet feet.